What is up everybody, and if you're concerned like I am about the new updates that WhatsApp has released, this video is just for you. We're going to talk about WhatsApp versus Signal, this new thing that's come out of nowhere. It's been around for a while and it's the most downloaded app in the market right now. At the end of this video, you're probably going to find out why you should use WhatsApp or Signal for all your future messaging and communication. With that being said, let's go. So what exactly is happening and why does all of this start? This started because WhatsApp released a new update that came out a couple of days ago that basically said that, look, we're going to go ahead and share your private information with Facebook to go ahead and help improve our algorithm. Now, that was not received really well by the vast majority of the audience, and that saw a lot of high profile people, including the likes of Elon Musk, that basically said, look, it's time to ditch WhatsApp and let's go on to something bigger and better and something a little more secure. And hence where Signal came in. And Signal is the application that is being spoken about right now by everyone and has been downloaded and is considered to be the most downloaded app right now at this day and age on the App Store, as well as almost in the Play Store. Now let's talk about the ups and downs of WhatsApp as well as Signal. Now before we carry on, let's actually talk about what actually WhatsApp said in that privacy note, because they came back a day or two later trying to clear up exactly what happened and what miscommunication was sent through in that privacy note. And WhatsApp released a blog post on their Facebook page explaining this. So let's dig into exactly what those points are. So WhatsApp wants to be very clear in saying that they do not listen to any videos or messages or calls that we make between user to user. That was not what they're trying to intend. WhatsApp also does not log the location of the user, like yourself or myself, when they're sending a message unless we give them permission to. And even when we give permission, no one outside of that encrypted two-way communication can actually understand or see where that message location is coming from. So an encrypted message, essentially think of it as a tunnel where there's a communication layer between person A and person B, and no one outside that tunnel can essentially understand that. Now, where exactly does Facebook come into this? We'll talk about it in a quick second. WhatsApp also was very clear in saying that, look, any information that we have about you, you can actually go into the settings, look at that and download it to see if you're not comfortable with anything that we collect, and you can make sure that we don't collect that information about you. Now, we may have always felt that WhatsApp is listening to us, but it is actually not true at all. Now, we do know that Facebook does do some inherent listening here and there, and therefore when you speak about something, suddenly you start getting the ad for it, right? So that is something that most people consider as invasion of privacy, but that does exist. Now, the last thing WhatsApp has mentioned is, look, where we do go ahead and communicate our messaging and information with Facebook is with the business layer. So for those who are aware, not aware, WhatsApp is actually used as a very strong communication tool between businesses and customers, especially in Southeast Asia, where WhatsApp is a very, very popular form of communication. Now, what WhatsApp has said is, if you're communicating with business, we are going to be very clear in our user experience and letting you know that you are communicating with business. And at that point in time, that information that the business has communicated with you as a consumer is going to be shared with Facebook to basically improve the algorithm, make sure it's a better experience for you and the business, and to improve overall feedback engines. That's something to be cleared, so you're aware that WhatsApp does not actually invade into your privacy when it has to come between a person to person or user to user situation. And also to note that WhatsApp has introduced the disappearing feature of messages, which we're going to talk about very soon, but you need to manually turn that on because it's not available by default in WhatsApp itself. Now, as a result of all of this that has happened, we've got competitors that have come in, and these haven't been recently introduced, by the way. Signal has been around for a long time, and we all probably know of Telegram that took off in 2017 when the crypto craze came in and everyone wanted to talk about encryption, because at that point in time, WhatsApp had a lot of limitations around encryption as well as the number of people in groups. And Telegram has a large capability where you can take, I think, thousands of people in groups, where WhatsApp only had a upper limit of about 50 or something. So let's talk about Signal, because that's why you're here, and this is my breakdown of what exactly Signal can do for you if you're a user. Now, Signal is an end-to-end encrypted product. Much like WhatsApp, it is end-to-end encrypted, which goes to that same analogy I gave before, in that you can pretty much expect the communication between a user A and user B to be within a tunnel, and no one can actually see that message other than those two people. To know that it does also have a lot of updated features such as encrypted profiles. It has the ability to go ahead and do disappearing messages, as well as one-off media. That means if you send a photo, essentially once the other person sees it, they cannot see it again. Kind of like Snapchat, but not exactly like Snapchat. So that's the capability there. If you sent a photo on Instagram, sometimes you can notice that once you click on the photo, you can't actually click on it back again. That's basically what that is referring to when we say one-off media. Now, the other thing you actually need to consider is, or know that, is Signal is actually open source software. So what that means in the software land is that people who have the ability to read and understand code can actually go ahead and look at the code that is written down there. Now you might ask, isn't that not safe? Can hackers not go ahead and break the code? No, counterintuitive to most points, open source code is actually more secure than sometimes secure code. And this is one of the downsides of WhatsApp, because no one necessarily knows how WhatsApp is actually coded or engineered. So that opens up a black box for susceptibilities or vulnerabilities where hackers can come and break into WhatsApp. But since Signal is open source and it's been battle tested by a lot of engineers outside of the Signal team itself, where they have bug bounty programs, people can go ahead and contribute to that project if they want to. It prevents the ability for unknown hacks that have not been tested before to be there, because the code is pretty much available for public scrutiny. Other small things Signal can offer for you is things like notes to yourself. I don't know about you, but sometimes when you want to write like a quick note down, WhatsApp does not allow you to send a message to yourself. Signal offers a tiny update where you can actually send notes to yourself. The other thing is Signal actually lets you host your own servers. I wouldn't recommend you to do that, but Signal offers that ability in a situation where companies want to go ahead and host the servers and basically maintain the data themselves in their own secure form and manner. The other cool thing that Signal actually does offer, I don't know if it's there in the latest update, and they'll obviously be updating a lot of these things since they're getting crazy volume, is Signal actually has this cool capability where if you end up doing a video call or voice call, both let's say myself and yourself are given secret codes, and then as soon as we jump on a call, we can pretty much just announce our secret codes to each other, and if those secret codes match, it basically means that this conversation is secure. And in a situation where those secret codes don't match, it means someone is actually listening. You can easily cut that call and then try the call again. So that's a cool feature that Signal actually has as basic capabilities amongst the other secure features that Signal does offer, which we're going to talk about in a quick second. The other thing with Signal, as I mentioned along the security section, is with WhatsApp, it's got this inherent ability where the identification of a user is based upon the phone number. So if you go to phone number of someone else and they have WhatsApp and you have WhatsApp, it basically means you both are connected. Some find that very, very convenient, like myself. Other people don't, and they think that's an invasion of their privacy. Now, Signal has the ability for you to go ahead and manually invite someone, and only when that person has accepted that invite is when that connection is actually made. So it's not inherent just because both of you have each other's phone numbers or connection abilities. So where does this leave everything with WhatsApp or Signal? What do I have in my take to it? In my opinion, I've been using WhatsApp for almost 10 years now at this point in time, and I personally think with the latest update that they released about a day and a bit ago, or actually 8 hours ago, saying that look, this information which has to do with privacy share of information is only going to be for business accounts, gives me a sense of pleasure, a sense of ease with respect to the information that is being shared. At the same time, I do understand concerns when someone has with respect to WhatsApp and Facebook just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger with respect to the amount of information they collect about us as users. So I do see the reason why people move to Signal. If you are moving to Signal, that makes perfect sense. I have downloaded Signal and I'm using it for certain conversations, but for the large percentage of my chats will still be on WhatsApp because I've been using it, like I said, for almost a decade, and I'm personally okay with the fact that Facebook is aware of some information about myself. It just means it's better targeting of information, and I don't see random content and copy off my Facebook. I do understand that is a very controversial view, and that doesn't mean I don't believe in data sovereignty as well as privacy. I strongly believe in it. I just think since the update that WhatsApp has provided, if they didn't provide that update, I already downloaded Signal, like I said. Since the update was provided, and they were very clear in saying that, look, none of your information is actually being shared. It's only when you have a business conversation with a particular business, and will also make it very clear that you're talking to business. Is that point in time, any information is shared with Facebook on that point. But if you do move to Signal, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. It is a great user experience. It's a very cool app to use as well. I want to know your thoughts on this because it's such a hot topic, and what people have to say really does matter because it might change my view about privacy as well. So please definitely leave a comment below on what your thoughts are about Signal, WhatsApp, as well as Telegram with this whole thing. So if you've enjoyed this video, I would absolutely love it if you can share, like, and subscribe, because it will help spread the message. It'll help other people understand about Signal versus WhatsApp, because everyone's talking about this right now. And thank you again, and I'll see you soon. Have a good day.